Yo, hell yeah. Wyatt begins in like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yo, welcome to Wyatt. And I'm your host, Wyatt O'Brien Evans. Brr, woof, God damn it, woof, 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 woof. Yeah. Hey, hi to all my YouTubers out there. If you like what you hear, and if you like what you see, and I know you do, well, just click that subscribe button at the bottom of your screen. I said, click it, click it, click it. I love stuff. Oh, click it. Yeah. Anywho, on this installment of Wyatt, it's a very, very special treat, y'all. We got on tap the acclaimed and innovative filmmaker, Mr. Lamont Pierre, and he is the creator, producer, director of the award-winning web and TV series, A Beautiful Cruel Thing. And he's brought along the cast of A Beautiful Cruel Thing, Rico Milan and JoVanni Colon. So I say let's just let's get it on. So without further ado, Wyatt, I said Wyatt, enthusiastically welcomes Mr. Lamont Pierre, the acclaimed creator, producer, director of the multi-award-winning web and TV series titled A Beautiful Cruel Thing, along with the cast, y'all, that includes Mr. Rico Milan and Mr. JoVanni Colon. Talk at me, gentlemen. How the hell are ya?
Good. How are you?
Feeling good. How you feeling today?
I am doing great. Thank you for stopping by, Wyatt.
Absolutely.
So first of all, give us the Black Power salute and let us know who is who. Okay, how about JoVanni?
Yes, sir. I'm Mr. JoVanni Colon. I play Chad on FreeFall. A Beautiful Cruel Thing.
Come on now.
And we got Lamont Pierre.
Lamont Pierre.
Let's give a salute, my brother.
Hey, look, I don't want to go too far. Okay. Creator, director of Beautiful Cruel Thing.
And what about Rico? Let's do our little thing there.
What's up, everybody? Rico Milan here. I play Myron on A Beautiful Cruel Thing.
I appreciate that. Now, first of all, I want to start with Mr. Pierre. My brother, your resume is stellar to say the least. You are a New York and LA-based filmmaker and co-founder of Art House International Streaming.
Founder.
Founder. I'm so sorry. Founder of Art House International Streaming. You have created and produced a number of award-winning indie films and web series dramas, including Tequila Sunrise, Talking with the Taxman About Poetry, My Brother's Keeper, FreeFall, Miles plus Cal, and A Beautiful Cruel Thing, which is a spinoff of FreeFall.
Yes.
Hey, man, I want to be just like you when I grow up.
Oh.
I truly do. Now, today, no, I'm serious. Look. Now, today, A Beautiful Cruel Thing, which currently airs on HERETV, is our main focus. And season 2, I believe, debuts on Saturday, December the 30th. So, now...
Not quite, but...
I'd love... Well, please correct me.
That might be listed on IMDb. But
it was.
So IMDb does not always have the most up-to-date dates. So, but we're about to start filming season 2 officially.
Well, slap my face. Just slap.
That's just not your fault.
Okay, now I love titles because a title can really brand you. A successful title can brand you, can help sell a product. So why the title, A Beautiful Cruel Thing? Because to me, the words beautiful and cruel are like oxymoron, right? So what's the meaning behind the title, A Beautiful Cruel Thing?
Well, I'm a big title person as well, like huge. And so in a lot of my works, so I love titles. I also love poetry. I consider myself to be a poet. And so there's a poetry that I create from. So I'm always looking. So when I have a title idea, I try to think of titles a lot of times that are poetic, or at the very least interesting or compelling. You know what I mean, or just something that just makes you think. You know, this what is this? This catches your attention. You know, some kind of way. And so I heard a phrase somewhere that somebody used, and they actually used the phrase "a beautiful cruel thing," right? And they used it kind of in a throwaway sense. And it was just around the time that we were gearing up to do this spinoff, and I was still trying to lock down the title. And that's kind of how it works for me. It's just like inspiration and things kind of happening in their own timing. And it was just the right time that I heard that phrase around the time that I needed a good title. That title fit. It fed into, you know, what I wanted this story to feel like. And I was just like, you know, it was still one of those titles that my team was like, what? A beautiful, what is it? But it worked beautifully. And I feel like it's a really cool title. Yeah.
It really is, Lamont.
Thank you.
I applaud you for that. Okay, I'm going to move to the cast of A Beautiful Cruel Thing. You've got Mr. JoVanni Colon, who plays Chad in the series. So tell us a little bit about Chad. What's Chad all about?
Chad is in the top of the series coming out of FreeFall, where his whole life was thrown upside down and he's looking for stability. And so he met a partner, and this story picks up with him and the partner deciding that they are going to be official, they're going to be together, and they're going to move down to Miami together. So we're navigating that space throughout the entire series.
Okay.
Can I elaborate on that a little bit?
No, but go ahead. Go ahead anyway.
Come on, man. Come on.
Just real quick, because he left off a couple key things. Chad comes from a very kind of a street background, even though his father was a lawyer.
Okay.
So he at some point meets Myron. They become, you know, they start to date. They become a couple. And then when they get serious about being together, that is when their journey kind of begins, really, which spills over into A Beautiful Cruel Thing.
Right.
Okay. Mr. Rico Milan, tag you're it. Talk to me about your character, Myron.
Myron is many things. I would say starting off with kind of being really solid in the beginning of his introduction to, you know, FreeFall, moving over into A Beautiful Cruel Thing. Pretty solid, had everything going for him. Ran into some challenges naturally with work that you'll see, you know, in the beginning of the series for A Beautiful Cruel Thing, in addition to finding out that he has small round cell cancer, which becomes a big focal point of Chad and Myron's journey through A Beautiful Cruel Thing.
Okay. Lamont, just give us the 25-word or less elevator pitch of A Beautiful Cruel Thing. Give us the mini synopsis.
Oh, I haven't done that in a while. You're testing my pitching skills here. Let's see. Chad and Myron is a story of two people who have chosen to embark on what they thought was an extraordinary life together, but they end up encountering the extraordinary. And I'll leave it at that.
Oh, wow. I like that. That's like a cliffhanger. Very, very good. I really like that.
I still got it.
Seriously. Yeah. Now, let me tell you something. I usually do that because it makes me feel good and it keeps you on your toes. Now, look, I'm going to give everybody the Wyatt Show analysis of A Beautiful, Cruel Thing.
Okay.
The acting is top notch.
So you got a chance to watch it?
Yes. I got to do my research. The acting is top notch. The series is beautifully shot, is very nicely directed, it's poignant, it tugs at the heartstrings, and it has heaping, helping servants of masculine romance. It makes me want to cry, but I won't. So
I love it. I love it, Wyatt.
I know, right?
Did I pretty much hit the nail on the head?
I would like to think so.
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
It's definitely an emotional story for sure. Intentionally. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It is. Okay, Lamont, you describe yourself as an art house, art cinema filmmaker, and you've stated, and I quote, "My style is obscure, experimental, and avant-garde." So, end quote. Please expound on that.
Well, it was just something that I realized almost from the very beginning of my career. I think a lot of people jump into something like filmmaking without having a vision for where they're trying to go, or even a vision for who they are within their own artistic identity, if they even consider themselves to be an artist. Got a lot of people in the industry who aren't artists. So defining that was very important in the very beginning. And then once I knew what it was, what my artistic sensibilities were, those were the labels I gave myself. And I really love art house films. I love films that are unconventional, that break form. You know what I mean? Hollywood loves formulas, you know? Yeah. And so I'm just not that guy, you know? I like originality, and I like the art, like every aspect of it. It has to be about the art for me, the writing, the directing, the acting, the cinematography, the music use, all those things, you know? I mean, even the publicity and the promotion, there's an art to it as far as I'm concerned, you know? Mm-hmm. And once I knew what it was, that is just what I strive to be. And that's the work that I fight so hard to be able to produce as I continue on 20 years deep in this industry, you know?
Wow. Well, Mr. Pierre, we're glad that you're not a run-of-the-mill filmmaker. I mean, you are definitely special. And, you know, after the show, we can talk about me being your PR person because, you know, but anyway, having said all of that, gentlemen, we're going to dissect A Beautiful, Cruel Thing a little bit later and talk about everybody's notable accomplishments. But for right now, I want to find out about your backstories because we at Wyatt are very nosy. We like to know what people have done and their backstories and all of that other kind of stuff. So, Rico, where were you born and raised?
Born and raised in Baltimore, Maryland, but currently residing and living in Sunny Isles, Florida.
Oh, okay. What was Rico like as a little boy, a little nipper? I like to ask that question.
Very
Give
active.
me like three.
Yeah, very active kid. I mean, I'm the oldest of 35 maternal grandchildren. And so naturally, as you know, with a bunch of little ones running around, even me being the oldest, there was still that responsibility to entertain and keep them active and busy and out of trouble. And, you know, a lot of that came with putting on a show at times, just to be out and having a good time and be just fun. So most of my childhood pictures, you'll look, and I was just this bubbly, out of the box, unordinary kid that was just all about a good time.
Cool. Okay, JoVanni, you're up. Where were you born and raised?
Okay, so I was born in Atlanta, Georgia, but I was raised in Jacksonville, Florida. Yes, sir.
And what was JoVanni like as a little boy, a little nipper? Give me like 3 characteristics that best describe you.
I was I'm the baby, but there's a big age gap between me and my sister of 12 years. So I'm basically kind of like the only child syndrome. So I know how to entertain myself a lot. Was full of energy, still to this day. I love to have a good time, and was, like you said, very creative mentally. Loved art and loved art.
Cool. Well, Mr. Pierre, tag, you're it. Where were you born and raised?
I was born in Fort Bragg Air Force Base in Fayetteville, North Carolina. I'm a military brat on both sides.
Okay.
But I wasn't raised there. I was raised several places. My parents were in the military for 20 years. Each.
Okay.
Almost. And yeah. And as far as the kind of kid I was quiet. I was a quiet kid. Yeah.
No.
I was a very quiet kid, and I was a bookworm like crazy. Like, I was very into school, very into academics, you know, a million after school activities, the whole night, plus sports as well. But mainly, you know, I was hitting the books.
Okay. Cool. Okay, gentlemen, let's dig into your craft a little bit. Rico, when did you first get the acting bug, and what has been some of your influences?
I would definitely have to say it started in elementary school plays, and I mean around holidays. You think about Easter time. You know, I had to be one of the characters. That kind of carried all the way through. Some drama stuff that I did in high school, as well as in church activities. So that's kind of where it really kind of became a thing for me. And then moving into college, I just, you know, dibbled and dabbled in kind of just the arts and entertainment aspect of it. So where there was a production where I could probably get a role or audition for it, I was doing all those types of things as well, just to kind of get my feet wet and up in front and on stage.
Got it. Okay, JoVanni, what about you?
For me, acting came later. Out of high school, I started modeling. I moved back to Atlanta from Jacksonville, and then I got signed to an agency. And so I was trying to do print work and doing fashion shows and stuff like that. And the agency I was signed to, they invited me to go to an audition that was for acting. I didn't get the role, but then I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. So I started reaching out for other opportunities and looking for other places where I could continue to flex that muscle, if you will. And so I was able to finally get in a room with Lamont. I was there just as a fill-in, actually, believe it or not, and it's been history ever since. He selected me, we filmed, we loved it, we made the character a permanent character, and like you said, that's basically the origin of where my true acting bug came from.
Okay. Now, Mr. Pierre, you know, like I said, I want to be just like you when I grow up. Now, at age 19, you penned Victim, your first screenplay. In 2003, when you were enrolled at Florida State University, you created, produced, and independently financed your first film, Damaged. What was it like wearing that many hats?
That's interesting. What was it like? I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is it was what it was. You know, I knew I wanted to be a filmmaker at that point. So it was just a matter of doing whatever I had to do to get myself in that direction, you know? So I don't think I think much. Well, I know I don't think much about the fact that I wear so many hats, especially at this point. It's just what I've always been doing, you know, so I'm used to it. But sometimes I do realize that, and I, you know, make sure that I compartmentalize well and take care of myself with all those different hats, you know. But it is exhilarating, you know, to have so much, to be able to shape your own projects in so many different ways yourself. You know, when I was getting started in my career, what the industry was teaching was filmmaking, and you'll hear this a lot. People like to say filmmaking is a collaborative thing, and that you can't do it unless you have 20 people to do it with. It's not true. You know, you can do it either way, you know, and sometimes you have to do it by yourself if you don't have people to support you. Because what you're gonna do, sit around and not do it, not pursue your passion? No. So
absolutely, that makes total sense. Okay, Lamont, in 2008, you became the executive assistant to Lee Daniels, working on the Oscar-nominated film Precious. Now, inquiring minds want to know, this is a cliche question, I'm going to ask it anyway. What was it like working with Lee Daniels?
Well, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I would give you my industry answer. I used to say something different. But today, weird.
Weird. Weird how?
He's a weirdo.
I mean, okay. Do you want to, I mean, do you want to leave it at that, or you want to expound on the weirdness?
I do. I'll say this, and I'll generalize. As we can see,
I'll take it
from things like, and I'm not trying to equivocate Mr. Lee Daniels to who I'm about to name, just giving an example. I'm generalizing. But for example, look at all the stuff that Diddy's going through right now.
Yeah.
What is coming out about somebody like him is an indication of the normal atmosphere of the industry. Okay? When I was with Lee Daniels, I didn't experience trauma myself. But I could see pockets of it lurking. Not necessarily with him, but it's the industry atmosphere. And the things that people expect you to do, and the ways they expect you to twist yourself to meet their agendas and their needs. And it becomes so not about your talent and what you can bring to the table. You know? And as soon as I recognized that I couldn't be an artist there, even if I toiled for years, I was like, oh, I need to get back to my own career instead of supporting somebody else's when I'm just as talented, if not more. Emphasis on the more.
Okay. Yeah, well, then.
Sorry, guys.
No.
Sorry, y'all.
That makes a hell of a lot of sense. No. Okay. We will move on
20
to
years in. I don't care.
Look, we get it. We get it. We'll move on to FreeFall.
Okay.
You created that in 2014. It's the award-winning crime drama web series, and I believe that the series ran for 46 episodes, 3 seasons. It became the longest-running LGBTQ plus web series. So It's groundbreaking. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Well, we started it actually in 2013. We're at our 10-year anniversary, actually. We have some things in development. I'll say that. See, I'm watching myself, Joe.
That
And
was
so,
good.
but it started as a very simplistic idea, like almost stereotypical. And then we put out what we call our preseason episodes and got a crazy response. I was not expecting that response. And then once I saw that what we had put out, which I didn't feel represented me well artistically, I felt like, okay, well, since we have all these eyes tuned in now, let's clean this up and let's be more intentional about what we're serving them. You know? So that is when, so the show originally started as a romantic comedy, if you will. Then it switched when we started our official first season, and it was now a crime drama series, which is what it stayed for the next 4 years. And it was quite a ride doing that project. It was just quite a ride.
Okay, yeah. Very good, very good. Before we move into A Beautiful Cruel Thing, tell me a little bit about Miles plus Cal.
Woo! Miles and Cal was a web series. We produced it in 2015 in LA. It did well for the company. You know, it was very popular. It found a really dope audience. And but it only lasted for like that year, maybe say a year and a half, and took a very long hiatus, about what, 8 years, Joe? Like about 8 years. So right now we're in talks for a reunion project for that project.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're still seeing how that's gonna go.
Fingers crossed, man. Fingers crossed. Fingers
but it's
crossed.
looking hopeful. It's looking hopeful. Okay. Scripts are being written. Yeah.
Okay. Very good. All right. Now, A Beautiful Cruel Thing. I love the title. Rico and JoVanni, let's talk more about your characters. Who exactly are they? What are their motivations? What are their motivations? What compels them to do what they do? JoVanni, you can start it off.
Love that question.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
all
a great
ears,
question.
guys. I want to hear these answers.
No, this is first. This project means a lot to me because Lamont is, like you said, it's coming from a creative aspect, and we're telling a story that we feel like they can really help people. So this love story, this tragic love story, we call it. Chad is, usually a man of, having everything in order, being very precise about how he moves on a day-to-day basis, but he gives all of this up in order to be in this relationship with Myron. And immediately at the top of the series, they're hit with major challenges. And so we kind of navigate that space of all these different challenges that arise throughout the season. But one of the big things that really stuck with me when we were creating this script and this whole project was that infidelity would never be a reason. And I think a lot of other shows that we're compared to, you'll see a sense of infidelity somewhere in it. And so this project is very, very important to me. It shows a successful relationship where love is there, the challenges arise, and it doesn't have to be infidelity.
Yes.
So Chad and Myron, we go through this whole journey of love and what that looks like, and trying to make each other as happy as possible, considering all the challenges.
Yeah, I really like the fidelity aspect. Okay, Rico, your turn, please.
Sure. I think it, like JoVanni said, this project was special to me as well, having been no stranger to the impact cancer can have on families. And so when learning of, the development in their relationship and that we will be telling that story and how they navigated that was special. It was special on all ends. I think even more so because I myself don't and or have never experienced cancer specifically as me. But yes, I mean, from my mom to my grandmother, grandparents, etc. I've had a front row seat to what that experience is like. So now to be in that position, to be able to bring some of their experiences to life through Myron's character was definitely the journey for me, and that was special. So to be able to have them experience that while also the challenges that come with every relationship, be it communication, understanding each other, figuring out how in best way, whatever those best ways are to convey what you are individually experiencing while you're in that relationship, is what you see play out between the two of them.
Okay. Thank you for that. Okay, Misters Milan and Colon, briefly describe your actor's process. How do you create that authentic, organic character? Do you draw upon previous life experiences, people that you have known or you do know? So either one of you can start.
Go for it, Joe.
Well, I feel like the character Chad has been a character that we've been developing for years. And like you said, Lamont, the backstory to Chad, coming from a prestigious family, but being a little bit of a street guy, being very savvy with finances and always thinking about, making sure that he has everything planned very well. So when it comes to us being on set for this project, those things are always in the back of Chad's mind, trying to make sure that Chad has an issue with like abandonment a little bit. He wants to feel love and is constantly looking for reassurance.
His parents have passed away.
Because both parents at this point have passed away. So when we get on set, I typically take a moment, like a quiet space, then decompress, start bringing up all those past experiences that Chad has gone through, and we apply that into the other scenes that we're about to shoot for that day.
Okay. Rico.
Wow. I would definitely say again, just to repeat, having drawn upon personal family experiences, for sure. I think what I was able to do also with this, because this is their relationship kind of put on front and center. And so naturally thinking about my relationships in the past over the years, and understanding what those challenges were like, I think this was really interesting because there was no escape. You couldn't run away from it. This was, it was written for them to be able to work out those challenges. And it wasn't a matter of just saying, you know what, to hell with this. I'm not, working this relationship out. And so drawing from those experiences, trying to, figure out where I could make different choices, and exploring that here was really, really good. So yeah, I typically find myself in a quiet space thinking about where we're heading to, and what choices we can make as we explore the successful side of a relationship.
Okay. Mr. Pierre, I'm going to ask you a question, but I need to ask the gentleman one question before I ask you your question. And here it is, gentlemen. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Okay. What is one word, just one word, that comes to mind to describe working with Mr. Pierre? Who wants to go first?
Adventurous.
Yes.
Who said that? Okay.
Adventurous. Yeah, mine first.
Yeah, and for me, the one word that comes to mind is passionate. Like passion, very passionate.
Got it. Okay. See, Lamont, that wasn't too bad, was it?
You gotta ask them. You gotta ask them their offline answer.
Okay, I'll do that. Okay, Lamont, back to you, my brother. Okay, what has been the impact thus far, if any, of this piece of work being out in the world? And what has been the most memorable or insightful part of producing it?
The impact is crazy because we're always sharing with each other when we come across fan feedback about the show. And specifically when the show is airing on HERETV, but it originated on our platform, our house platform. And the viewers that caught the show and got wrapped into the show, they're literally writing us like essays in the comments about how they're affected and how they feel about the story, our depiction of this kind of a relationship. You know what I mean? And so it's really just been kind of like mind-blowing, actually, the feedback that we've been getting. 'Cause I don't think we expected so many people to be able to relate to the project as it did. And so I'm thankful that, you know, to some degree, we've found the show's audience, you know? And so that's my answer to that. As far as, what was it? What did you say? The most... impactful,
the most memorable or insightful part of producing it.
To me, the thing that I always think of in reference to producing A Beautiful Cruel Thing is just how low stress it is.
No, that's good.
I don't know what the guys would say, but I always say that filming this show is like a working vacation. Like every time we come together, that's how it feels to me. And if you know anything about my other projects, nothing close to a vacation. You know, they're high stress and everything else. But these guys, and this is one of the reasons why I wanted to do a spinoff with them, it was primary because of our chemistry, you know,
important,
and their chemistry with each other, you know. And this project started off very ambitious. It's about to get even more ambitious for season 2. But you can't do a project like this without the right kind of people. It won't work. You know what I mean? And I'm speaking more so in terms of hearts.
Right.
You can't do a project like this with people with other kind of hearts, you know? And so there's just elements of this particular project that you just don't typically have on a standard project in this industry.
Okay, that's heavy. Okay, gentlemen, what should we expect and look forward to from the new season of A Beautiful Cruel Thing? And I'll start with Rico.
Right, another chapter in the life of Myron and Chad. You know, if in watching season 1, you know, there's naturally this clock, you know, that you see ticking in the backdrops, and so there's a reality that kind of looms over their journey, as far as Myron's health is concerned. But as life has it, you know, it comes with ups and downs. So expect to see some additional challenges that Myron and Chad will face, some triumphs, and some more
and some twists,
tugs, some twists and tugs at your emotional
twist.
Twist.
I love twists and turns. Oh
yeah, there's some twists and turns.
Yeah.
With the
okay
season 2 story.
Okay. JoVanni, you want to add to that?
Yeah, basically the same thing. But just an exciting journey. Like you said, definitely some twists and turns. I'm excited to film. Like you said, I'm just excited to film and get the project in front of you guys so you can really enjoy it. I'm excited for sure.
Mr. Pierre,
Yes.
How about you?
Well, you know what, I was just sitting here thinking that I was trying to find a way to mention it somehow. But something that I think is very interesting about this show, this project, is that it's a 2-man show only.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there are no other characters in the show. So we see nobody else on screen except these 2 people inside of their own relationship. And I think that is it's a very compelling approach, I believe, because their world, at least on screen to the viewer, is their relationship. You know what I mean? And so it kind of feels like you're like a fly on the wall in the world of their relationship, you know?
Yeah.
So it's a different view into something like this, into a relationship, you know? And that was very intentional as well. Like, I didn't want to have any other characters in the show. I wanted it to only be, these are the only 2 faces that we see in the story, you know?
Right.
And so I think we do a interesting job kind of like getting into the depths and the layers and all that of this particular relationship, more than what you probably would in the average relationship that's depicted in a on-screen story.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Totally, absolutely. Okay, gentlemen, how do we follow you, connect with you? Rico, give us all of your social media and all that good stuff.
Sure. On Facebook, I'm Rico Milan, RICOMILAN. On Twitter, Instagram, it's all the same. With TikTok is the new thing. All the same handle. AYQUE_RICO. AYQUE_RICO.
Okay, JoVanni.
Also, as well, I go by my name, JoVanni Colon, so you can type that in, JoVanni Colon. Find my IMDb, my Facebook, everything. My Instagram is Mr. JoVanni C.
Okay, and Lamont.
Well, I would say you can find me at the Art House platform. So Google Art House International Streaming. You can find us there.
All right. Listen, it certainly was a beautiful, cruel thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
I want to thank Mr. Lamont Pierre, Rico Milan, and JoVanni Colon. I like cologne, you know, spritz that stuff.
Yes, sir. I always smell nice. I always smell good. I promise you.
Well, we're counting on that. We are counting on that, my brother.
Absolutely.
Listen, but in all seriousness, thank you so much for dropping by. Wyatt, you all got to come back at some time next year.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for the invite. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
My pleasure. Yeah. So, y'all, there you have it. You can find the official Wyatt podcast page at WyattEvans.com, the go-to destination for LGBTQ plus news, features, commentary, and entertainment. WyattEvans.com is visited by more than 100 countries on the regular. All I can say to that is, hey, baby. And at WyattEvans.com, you'll find my smoking hot, HAWT hot, Nothing Can Tear Us Apart series of novels. And as you just saw on the top, that newest installment is called Shattered. I said Shattered. And y'all, Shattered is full of action, danger, intrigue, sexually charged situations, passion, and all of the wonderful elements that you're used to in the Nothing Can Tear Us Apart series of novels. So get your new copy of Shattered. Now you can follow me, your host, Wyatt O'Brien Evans, all across social media, and poof is right there for you to peruse, like TikTok and Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. And if you have any comments or whatever, you can hit me up at wyattonair@gmail.com. So until next time, y'all, woof, goddammit, woof, 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 woof. I said woof.